Hello, everybody. I am so excited for today's episode because this is the first time we're doing Not Your Typical Podcast with not your typical guest, aka Q100, my husband, Jonathan. So stay tuned. Really fantastic episode coming your way. This is literally not your typical podcast. It's a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit more funny, not as spiritual, not as shiur-esque, but we are going to guarantee you a good laugh and you're going to still go home with some tochen. So watch. There are so many knowledgeable professionals and talented experts in the world in every field. I'm neither a professional nor an expert in any field. And that's exactly why this podcast has the title it does. I'm Charlene Aminoff, and this is Not Your Typical Podcast. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Not Your Typical Podcast. This is Le'ilui Nishmat Miriam, Sarah Bat Yaakov Moshe, and we just want to say a huge, massive thank you to our beloved Hertz family from Aron's Kissena Farms for being a sponsor. They're not just sponsors, they are really good friends.
Very good friends.
And fun fact, we love shopping at Aron's. We make a date night out of it, especially before Purim, before Pesach, before Chagim.
A barbecue.
Barbecues, the best meat, the best deli, the best food. And did you know it is their 12-year anniversary coming up? So they're going to be having a huge Aron-style extravaganza. Those are pretty good. Concert, some swag, some sales. So make sure you put that on your calendar and you tune in for that. Happy 12th anniversary, Aron's Kissena Farms. We love you guys, the Hertz family. Today is a special day.
Thank you.
It is not Jonathan's birthday. That's Tu B'Shvat. But today is the time I get to finally interview Jonathan on my podcast. Welcome,
Thank
Jonathan
you so
Aminoff.
much. Pleasure to be here. Nice to meet you.
We're so excited to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
So we think it's going to be interesting to speak to the man behind the Gali's Couture Wigs business, behind the Instagram. He's the best Instagram husband. He's the director of every cool thing you see. But some things I'm going to speak about. You guys don't know what a B'li'ayin hara amazing tzaddik he really is, and he's such an anav. He's probably, he gets very awkward with attention and with compliments. But a fun fact about Jonathan is that he is the perfect yin to my yang, and I'll explain to you how. Jonathan is, Baruch Hashem, now a Hatzalah volunteer for 31 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's huge. And he's the head of the Hatzalah of a Great Neck division of Queens and Great Neck. He's also so calm under pressure, which is very cool and very rare because I'm not. I've physically been in the room when one of my children were tumbling down the stairs and I just stand there screaming, Hashem, help them, oh my gosh. And he's watching me and he's like, you know that if you just walked over to them and put your hand out, you could actually stop them from falling. And I was like, I can't. I become paralyzed in emergencies. He is obnoxiously calm under emergencies. So Jonathan, I think the first question I'm assuming that the listeners want to hear or viewers want to know, what on earth made you volunteer signing up for Hatzalah at the age of 18 years old? Teenage boys don't have chesed organizations like Hatzalah on their mind necessarily. They want to go and party and have fun and whatever. What made you want to save lives and do it voluntarily?
Okay, good question. So, I just came back from my year in Eretz Yisrael. And
Where'd you go?
Neve Zion. I was there for a
Neve
year and a half.
Zion, a year and a half, cool.
And
Fun fact, I never went to seminary.
sorry, you got
More
married.
on that later. I got
You
married. Not a bad consolation prize, Baruch Hashem. Okay, go on.
So I went to Eretz Yisrael, came back, and I actually worked for Chevra Kadisha.
That's so awkward.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And
It's all about chesed, I'm telling you.
And our shul in Queens, Shari Tova, the Persian shul at the time, was doing the first brand new ambulance to Hatzalah of Queens. And they said, you know what? We're donating an ambulance. We think we should have some of our people in our shul also become Hatzalah. And then Hatzalah in Queens was like...
Is that Shari Tova?
Shari Tova.
Nice.
It was like, the coolest thing is when you see those guys with the radios on and the lights and sirens driving by, everyone's like, wow.
Big toys for big boys.
Exactly. And I was nominated to be one of the joining members. And I remember when I interviewed, I said, I tried to impress the coordinator, Dovro at the time. His number was Q5. I said, I also work for Chevra Kadisha. And with his British accent, he goes, "Yeah, we try not to give them too much business."
Probably the wrong thing to say,
But,
interviewing for
I
a
joined,
life-saving organization.
It was such an adrenaline rush to join and to help people and, learn such amazing life-saving skills. And you meet so many great guys and become your brothers. I'm still friends with the guys after 30 years, those same guys. And once you're a member for life.
It's true. It's such a brotherhood. As a wife of the head of Hatzalah of Great Neck, I have to say, the brotherhood of the Hatzalah members is bar none.
Yeah.
It's like nothing I've ever seen. In fact, my father-in-law was nifter in July, and the day of the Levaya was a very, very difficult day for us. It was a very sad day. And Jonathan was, lo aleinu, we should never know, but Jonathan was burying his father, and he only has one brother. He doesn't have a huge family. And I remember looking around and seeing so many Hatzalah friends and Hatzalah members and coordinators from Central, from Queens, from everywhere. And I was like, you know what? Hashem knew He's not going to give you
We're worldwide.
Lots of siblings. He's going to give you one. David rocks. Shout out to David. But he gave you so many extended brothers, and it's beautiful. And what you guys do is amazing. And I have no idea how you are so calm and collected under pressure. Should we tell them a story about when you were passing a kidney stone? Is it best?
You already want to get into it? You're really going to start embarrassing me.
Best. Why you? It's more embarrassing for me.
Okay.
We're going to tell you guys it's not it's a sad story, but I want to paint the proper picture of how messed up I am in emergency situations. I would be the worst Hatzalah member. I promise I will never join Hatzalah. I will never ever join Hatzalah.
You're a spiritual member.
I am.
Never going to call you. We start davening. Tell the kids start davening.
That's true. He saves lives physically, and I try to help out spiritually. It's a good teamwork. So we were in Miami. As you know, we are part-timers in Miami. Jonathan's actually a little bit more full-time in Miami. More on that later.
I live in Miami and visit New York.
He lives in Miami and he visits New York. You heard it here first. He said it, not me. So we were in Miami. It was, how many years ago was it? What was the first?
About 3 years ago.
About 3 summers ago. We go down to Miami for the entire duration of the summer. As soon as the kids' schools are over, we peace out of New York and we are just living it up in Miami the whole time. That night, we happened to take the children out to Carlos and Gabby's for dinner. Shout out to Aron Wasserlauf. We're getting out of the car to enter Carlos and Gabby's on 41st. And Jonathan is getting out of the car and he closes the car door and all of a sudden I see he kind of hunches over.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I'm like, you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm okay. Let's go. We get into the restaurant and he's sweating. He's sweating profusely and he's quiet and he's just hunched over holding the side. I'm like, I'm really bad in emergency situations. He's like, Shar, I'm not okay. I have really, really bad pain over here in my stomach. I don't know what's going on. So we're waiting to see what happens. In the meantime, I told my kids, I'm go start ordering. Aron Wasserlauf, the amazing owner, comes out and he starts trying to help out. And all of a sudden, the worst thing someone can say to me, Jonathan looks at me and says, Shar, call 911. I'm like, what?
I felt like I was fainting.
What?
It was
what?
bad.
What do you mean? He's like, Shar, call 911. I'm not okay. Okay. I want to tell you guys. Oh, yeah, I could see he already has it on his phone. Guys, I promise you, I'm so paralyzed when it comes to these urgent things that I'm like, okay, I want to go. Let me preface this by saying, Baruch Hashem, I have very high executive functioning skills, supremely high, but not in emergency situations when it entails my loved ones, my people. He goes, Shar, call 911. So what do? I take out my phone and I call 911. But I'm like, they're not answering. He's like, give me. Let me zoom in. Okay, let's get a close-up shot of this. Do you see that? I didn't call 911. I launched my calculator app and I pressed 911 and I'm holding it by my ear wondering why no one's answering. So Jonathan, while passing a kidney stone, sees my extreme paralysis with emergency situations and he grabs my phone. He's like, I'll call them myself. He called the ambulance. They came. And the funny thing was the paramedics come and they're asking him all these random unnecessary questions. It was just it was Miami Beach police. And they're asking him all these questions and he's like, he knows a lot more than them. He's like, that's not it. No, that's on the other side of the body. No, my spleen is over there. He's correcting them. And then he says to them, I'm passing a kidney stone. I need to get to the hospital. The head paramedic is like, sir, you are not passing a kidney stone. This does not look like one. And he's like, dude, doing this for 31 years.
Give me
I'm passing a
morphine.
kidney stone.
I was like, give me
Just
morphine.
Give me some morphine.
Yeah.
We got to the hospital.
Worst
Sure
pain ever.
enough,
Worst
he was passing a kidney stone.
You and I always disagree about this. What's worse, kidney stones or giving birth?
Well, Baruch Hashem, B'li Ayin Hara, Ben Porat Yosef. I don't know about the kidney stone.
1%.
I don't think so.
1,000% kidney stones. I've asked women who've had given birth to twins, and they say kidney stones is much worse.
I need proof. You know what? Ladies,
Let me guess. You could do a poll.
We can't do a poll on a podcast, but close. Almost.
Okay.
Ladies, if you have passed a kidney stone and also have birthed a child, please send us an email and let us know which pain was worse so we could settle this once and for all. So, Baruch Hashem, are you okay now?
Yeah, thank God.
Okay, Baruch Hashem. You never want to go through that ever again.
Never.
By the way, life hack.
Drink a lot of water.
This is how you hopefully, Bezrat Hashem, you lessen your chances of passing a kidney stone. We're just going to take a quick break to let you know that Aron's Kissena Farms is having their 12th anniversary, and they are going all out. Fun fact, Jonathan and I travel from Great Neck to Aron's Kissena Farms because they have the biggest selection, best prices, super fast lines, amazing, amazing meat, produce, everything there is fantastic, and we love the Hertz family. They're having a 12th anniversary. They're going all out with swag bags, possibly some concerts, possibly some in-store fun extravaganzas, but we just want to thank Aron's for providing such an amazing service to the Jewish community. You are so great and your selection is so good, and you are the place to shop for all things food. And their sushi and their deli, oh my gosh, so good. You don't have to cook. If you live in Queens, why do you even bother cooking? Just go to Aron's and you'll get everything you need. And fun fact, the entire Hertz family, we consider them friends. So shout out to all the Hertzes around the world. We love you and we miss you guys. But guys, definitely check it out. Aron's is going to be offering some amazing specials in honor of their 12th anniversary. And hopefully we will be there at the event. Bli Neder, Bezrat Hashem. So mark your calendars, go shop Aron's and enjoy their fabulous products. Jonathan.
Yes.
If you were to give advice to a new father, what would you say?
Give advice to a new father? Wow.
Or a chatan. I'll tell you why I'm asking this. It's a bit of a loaded question. Jonathan gives really bad advice.
Excuse me?
To first-time fathers.
What bad advice do I give?
They'll come over for chatan classes with him, and I'm looking and I'm like, what's that meeting in the dining room? And I see him like sitting at the table with a bunch of young guys, and he's coaching them and giving them advice. I'm like, I hope you're giving them financial consulting or like chesed lessons or meister lessons.
Daven.
He's not. He's giving them really bad advice. Can we tell them what happened with our firstborn child that was born to me after 5 miscarriages and lots of tefillot? What you did to my child when he was only 2 months old?
It was an accident.
Okay.
But to answer your question, if I had to give advice to a first-time father, besides buying your wife an amazing push present,
like that,
buy your mother-in-law a present because you're going to need your mother-in-law.
That is
you
so
need your mother-in-law, diapers and feedings, and you need to go out and someone to watch that kid. Good mother-in-law, guys. I always say the most important thing is a good mother-in-law.
That's amazing.
I have the best mother-in-law.
I already made a bracha on this, so just saying that if you're watching this on YouTube, I already made a bracha on this. Jonathan, would you like to tell them a story about Jacob or shall I?
Okay. So this was about Jacob's now 17.
Jacob is almost 18.
So this
was about nearly 18 years ago. He was 2 months old.
This is when we used to have a TV in the house. We don't have, for full disclosure.
This is pre-Gali.
Yeah, we don't have a TV
pre-Gali, pre-my shetels and tznius, and we were like still, serving Hashem our way, the wrong way.
This is when the first flat screen plasma TV came out, and it was like something to see. I'm a techno guy. I love electronics, and we got the first huge TV in the house. And I'm just hooking up. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And you were a first-time mom, and you were with Jacob the whole, I don't know, was it almost 2 months maybe?
Yeah.
Day and night, taking care of him. No nurse aid. You really gave it your all. And I remember you came over to me and said, honey, I need a half an hour break. I want to get my nails done. I remember that. You said, I want to get my nails done. I'm going to leave you Jacob. And I'm watching TV the whole time. And you're like, I'm leaving you with Jacob. And I'm going to leave a bottle of formula for him on the kitchen island. You're going to take care of him. If he wakes up, just give him the bottle.
I'm happy that you're admitting that you heard me say I'm leaving his bottle on the kitchen table. Just continue.
Oh, boy. Okay, so she said she's going to leave a bottle on the island table. And full disclosure, new TV, new toy. I heard bits and pieces of what she said. Went in one ear, went out the other. All I heard was bottle, baby cries. That's all I heard. You go out, and about 10 minutes later, little Jacob wakes up crying. I remember Charlene said something about bottle, baby. Yeah, bottle, baby. Okay. And I look around the house, and our garage is inside our house. Like, it's a connected garage. And I see a green bottle by the garage door that leads into the house.
Green bottle. More on that later.
I thought that was the color formula.
Okay. Continue.
So I take it. He's crying, and I take Jacob, and I give him the bottle. He doesn't want to take it.
Wonder why.
I thought he was being fussy, you know?
I wonder
so
why
like,
he didn't
"Come
want
on,
to drink
Jacob,
a bottle
come on.
with green
Mommy
milk.
said, if you wake up, I give it to you. And I give him the bottle, and he finally starts drinking it. And it goes back down.
Breaks my heart. I hate this story.
And then about 10 minutes later, you call, and I'm in the zone watching my show. And you're like, how's it going? I'm like, super dad. What are you talking about? Jacob woke up. He wants his bottle. I gave him the bottle, and he drank the whole thing. You're like, really? I'm like, yeah, I got it covered, Char. I'm a pro. You got the best husband in the world. She says, okay, I'm going to stay for another 15 minutes. I'm going to get like a pedicure also. I'm
Meanwhile,
like, sure.
me, I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's a dad. He can do
super
this.
dad.
He got this.
Super
He's
dad.
feeding my son. My
Natural.
son is okay.
I'm a natural.
And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Like I was like an 8-ounce bottle. Like he's never had more than 2 ounces of formula before. So I was so confused, but I'm like, all right, he has some magic touch.
Super dad. So I said, stay out, enjoy yourself. He's asleep. You stay out for a pedicure. I remember you come back in. You come home. Hi, how are you? I'm like, great. He's sleeping. And you go into the kitchen. And I hear, I'll never forget this. You go, Jonathan. I'm like, what? I thought you gave Jacob the bottle. I'm like, shh, I'm watching. Jonathan, you said you gave Jacob the bottle. I'm like, yes, sure, I gave him the bottle. Like, what bottle? He says, it's full. You didn't give him the bottle. I'm like, sure. I gave him the bottle you left by the garage door. Shh, not quiet. I gave him that bottle.
Okay, now we're going to pause right over there. Allow me to tell you what that bottle was by the garage door. I was getting ready to go into the car, and I'm like, well, I'm a very, very sensitive sense of smell. So sensitive. And I'm like, something smells rancid. What is that smell? And I'm looking around in the car, and like moms know that when you have a baby and there's a bottle in the car, if that bottle rolls underneath the car seat area or underneath the seat, you will probably find it because of the smell. You won't find it voluntarily all of a sudden. I see this maybe 2-week-old bottle of milk underneath the seat.
And antibiotics in it.
What?
Not had antibiotics.
That's disgusting. I pull this bottle out, and I'm like, I didn't even want to put it in the kitchen. I left it inside the house on the floor by the garage door to remember when I come back home, this is not even getting washed. This is going straight into the recycling. Jonathan thought that it would be wise to find that bottle on the
I didn't know
floor.
formula wasn't green.
So my friends, don't do that. If you are a first-time dad listening to
But
this.
do you remember your reaction?
Yeah. I started screaming and crying, and I
You
said,
call
call
Hatzalah.
Hatzalah.
I'm like, I'm here.
He's like, I am Hatzalah. I'm like, call poison control. And he's like, I can kind of help with that too, but
You wouldn't let me touch him.
And then he started to projectile vomit
that.
all over the place.
Pulled out your calculator app.
I pulled out my calculator app to try to call 911.
That's before iPhones even.
So yeah, that's a fun fact. That was a great story. And then like
Oh, no.
within a week,
Don't.
a week. So
Oh,
he was
no.
on probation. Jonathan was officially on probation. I was like, you
Oh boy.
are never allowed to feed my children ever again. So he was
See,
kind of
guys?
like, he was okay with it.
Classes.
Oh, is that what it is? You teach them to do something wrong the first time so they never have to do it again? Is that it?
No comment.
That's okay. We'll talk about that in private.
Okay.
So a week later, we're getting ready to go out.
Thanksgiving.
It was Thanksgiving. It was
Yeah.
my mom's birthday. We're going out to dinner with my parents, and we pack up Jacob in his cute little winter coat and in his snap and go and a cute little hat. And I told Jonathan, I'm like, do not touch him or harm him or feed him any poisonous milk. Just do me one favor. I'm gonna put on my coat. Just put his hat on him and just that's it. Put his hat on him and put him in the car. He's like, okay, I could do that. I could put a hat on a kid. So Jonathan puts a hat on Jacob, and all of a sudden Jacob is crying and screaming, and he's like holding his breath, and I'm like, what's happening? Oh my gosh. So we're in the car, we're driving, and I'm like, Jonathan, doesn't make sense. He loves car rides. And he's like, I don't understand. It's just, I just put his hat on him and he can't stop crying.
And what did you say to me?
I told him, pull over.
Pull over.
He pulls the car over. I get out of the car and I'm like analyzing Jacob. I'm like, is his seatbelt on too tight? Is his like finger caught in his coat? What's going on? And I'm like patting him, and all of a sudden I get to his head and I'm like, what in the world is in here? I take off his hat. Jonathan put Jacob's hat on him with the passy and that metal clip that it's attached to. You know, one that you clip onto the coat? That little clip, the metal clip was like puncturing Jacob's
I put the hat
scalp.
on him, and I didn't know it was in there.
Okay, so needless to say, Jonathan no longer helps
I don't get the Father of the Year award?
that much. You get the Father of the Year award in many ways.
Okay.
Not with feeding them and not with putting
Thank God for
quotes
Gali.
on them. Yeah,
Thank
Baruch
God.
Hashem.
Yeah.
By the way, actually, that's my next question. So all of you, I'm sure, know already that Hodu Hashem, the day that Gali drowned was the day that changed our lives forever and ever. Unfortunately, I somehow became the face of the Gali story, but let's really be honest here. It was totally Jonathan. I don't think for a second that it was me. I promise you. I really don't. I'm saying this in front of everybody on camera. I believe that my covering my hair had something to do with it, but it was Jonathan physically breathing life back into her body that brought her back to earth. There's no question. Hodu Hashem. So thank you, first of all. But he's taken the get out of jail free card that came along with that a little too far. And sometimes I'll be like,
No expiration date on it.
There's no expiration date. Okay. So there's no expiration date. Sometimes I'll say, hey, my birthday's in a week. And he's like, oh, I know. Gali, where are you? And then she'll come and she'll stand in front of us and he's like, happy birthday. It's okay.
Can't put a price on that.
You cannot. Hodu Lashem. I will. That is the best gift. You can continue to give that gift to me forever and ever. All right. Fun facts about you that nobody knows. 3, 4, 5 random facts about you that nobody knows.
You didn't tell me about this.
I know. I'm surprising you.
You have a list of...
I do. No.
Oh,
No.
I have to give you...
Yeah.
I have,
Tell the viewers 5 random facts about you. Could be anything.
Like what? What do you mean? Like
Anything. Something about you that nobody knows.
Do I have to embarrass myself? Or
You can. I'm all about that. We're down with self-deprecation.
my kids think it's weird, but I love black licorice. It's
Yeah.
my favorite snack.
That's
I
gross.
love black licorice.
That's gross.
Black jelly beans, black licorice.
Yeah, that's gross. Okay.
I love that. Even though I'm in Hatzalah, I hate hospitals. I hate going to hospitals, and I hate needles. If I get a needle, I'll faint. I faint.
He faints
I have to go like this
when he gets a blood
can't
test.
look. Yeah, I hate hospitals.
Yeah, that's really ironic.
Yeah, I just really hate hospitals.
Okay, so you love black licorice and black jelly beans, and you
Yeah.
faint when you get blood work, and you hate hospitals.
I'm really like a big baby because I'm the first one in our house that goes to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a fact. This is actually a very annoying fact. John, we have opposite time zones in our home.
Yeah.
I promise you there's been times where I've been going to bed when he's been getting up.
Yeah. I
for the
get up
day.
at 5 and you go to sleep at 5
Right.
a.m.
I sleep 2 hours a night. I sleep usually around 3:30 to 4 till 6:13. My alarm is actually set to 6:13.
Yes.
And he's up between 4:30 and 5 o'clock every day, which is very,
So I go to
very
bed early.
annoying. But he goes to bed very early. He's in bed by 9. And even my 9-year-old doesn't go to sleep at 9 at all.
Right.
So Jonathan is the biggest
Yeah.
child in the Aminoff home. But that's okay. We're fine with it.
Another one? You want another?
Yeah. Give me more.
I'm really boring. I
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know what you're
I'm really
saying. Okay,
boring. I used to be
I'll-
cool. I used to be a cool guy. You know, I
You're
used to
so
have I used to have
cool.
3 motorcycles and sports cars and did cool, adventurous sports. But now I'm boring.
You used to like fly planes for fun or go like race car driving for fun. Like you used to like do these weird outings with your friends.
Can I have a motorcycle again?
Never, ever, ever. Chas
I'll
v'shalom.
put an Nishma card on the motorcycle.
No, even that won't work. But yeah, Baruch Hashem, you really don't have any. Vices.
No.
really.
I don't drink coffee.
Right.
I don't smoke. I don't
You
like
don't
wine or
drink.
alcohol. Like we make kiddush on grape juice sometimes.
No, we're bored. We're very
So I really,
losery.
I
We're
don't
such
belong to any of
losers.
those clubs.
That's okay.
So yeah, I'm pretty boring.
That's cool. Well, you do have some vices. You like cars.
Yeah.
You-
Yeah, but not anymore because the way you are with cars.
I don't take.
I
good care
can't
of
buy
my
a car
cars.
anymore.
Have you guys ever played bumper cars at like the circus or these fairs? That's me in real life. I told Jonathan, don't ever buy a car for me. Just lease a really cheap old minivan for me, like forever and ever, because I will see a parking spot and it's between 2 poles, and I'm like, I can make it. And I will like, and I pull in. Yeah. And I slam on the brakes. I have a very heavy foot. I don't take good
Yeah.
care of my cars. So ever since that, he stopped getting, the car is supposed to take you from point A to point B. And that's what we use it for now. Sorry,
Yeah.
he traded in his fancy cars for all of our homey cars. It's good. Favorite restaurants in the world?
Favorite restaurant in the world? Wow.
We'll start with Florida because that's where you spend most of your days.
Florida, well, they're all amazing there. To go to Florida, eat in a restaurant, eat outdoors, and Florida's getting so many new restaurants.
Give us 5 or 4 favorites in Florida. Definitely Fuego. Fuego's number 1 for our meat restaurants. Favorite dairy restaurant in the world.
Rustico. Their fish, the branzino and
favorite dairy restaurant in the world. Favorite pizza store in Florida.
Fuzo.
In Aventura.
Yeah.
Tal, Asaf, you guys rock.
Amazing.
Best food. So we got Fuego, we got Rustico, we got Fuzo. 2 more anywhere.
Levy's
of Hollywood in the waterways. Ofer Levy.
Big teddy bear.
We love you guys. Yeah, their food is fantastic.
Where else is really favorite? There's so many up and coming new places I want to try also.
Right.
We love Fresco. Fresco also.
Yeah, Fresco also.
Everything.
Asiatico.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah.
I also love Grill House. Grill House in Miami Beach. Best sesame chicken ever. Give me 2 favorite restaurants in New York.
Hands down.
The Loft Steakhouse. Yossi, we miss you. We got to come back.
It's a schlep to get there, but
the best. And
we Uber there because, I come out there, I'm like, I can't drive.
We eat until we're numb and we're sick and we can't breathe. So we always have to Uber to and from. And then one more restaurant in New York that we love, that you love.
That's on Persian. So I would have to say Shiraz.
Shiraz in Great Neck.
Local, but there's such a family restaurant.
Shiraz in Great Neck.
Yeah.
Such good food. Yeah. And if you guys come to Shiraz in Great Neck, send us a message. Maybe we'll come and hang out with you guys.
We get invited to restaurants all the time. And, we'll never say anything bad about a restaurant. We just won't tell people we went there. But if it's a good restaurant, we're happy to tell the world because...
Fun fact, if you ever see us tagging a restaurant or going to a restaurant, it's never airing in real time. We record it, and then we air it a few hours later or a day later or a week later, just because we want to make sure that the food sat well with us and we were happy with it and all that. So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
And we love Happy Sky in Queens.
Oh, yeah.
That is like...
your birthday there.
Yeah, that was where my 40th birthday bash was. It was so fun.
It was so nice to let you have your birthday there.
The best. Okay. What, as the head of Hatzalah of Great Neck, when you interview guys to join Hatzalah, just because if somebody's listening to this and they have a desire to join, what are some characteristics you look for in someone to recruit them for Hatzalah?
You got to be... Well, when I sit down with them for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And first we do a background check on them, make sure, legally wise they're above board. We ask the rabbi about them, make sure that they are on the right religious level for Hatzalah. We ask the other members if they know the person, what kind of guy is he.
So you really research him.
Can be part of the brotherhood. And then I get to feel how, you got to be kind of smart. You got to have good street smarts. You got to be good under pressure.
Not like me.
You got to be analytical.
Don't call 911 on your calculator app.
It's funny, with Hatzalah, you have to have a cold heart, but also a warm heart. Right. Because you have to be cool under pressure.
Things that you have to disconnect from the emotions a little bit, But
you have to have emotions because you're treating people. And you have to care, and you could do more with just being kind to a patient and showing that you care than any medication in the world.
That's very smart. If you had to share the best piece of advice you were ever given, what would it be?
What do you mean?
If someone gave you really good advice
to join Hatzalah?
No, anything about life. We're moving along.
Oh, we're on the next. Okay, wow, you're fast.
Trying to cover as many bases as I can in this 30-minute spot.
It sounds cliche, but listen to your elders. They've been through life and they've made mistakes. And if you don't learn from their mistakes,
you're just bound to repeat them.
You're bound to repeat them. You'll save yourself financially wise. If you go to someone, I am smart enough to know that I don't know things, so I'll never make a move without consulting you. You're my sounding board. I'll speak to my accountant, my lawyer. Speak to smart people. Be around smart, successful people, and always tap them for advice because they've made the mistakes, and you're just saving yourself, heartache and money.
I love that. I'm so into that.
Yeah.
I still call my grandma every week.
Yeah.
Leanne Hara, she's lived in BUL for 120 years. Still love taking advice from her for everything. What's the best piece of advice a Rebbe has ever given you? Using this as a segue.
Oh,
4 words.
The key to Shalom Bayit.
No.
Oh, not that one?
Not that one.
Oh, not that one? Best
4 words that a Rebbe told you that has never failed you. The best advice.
Happy wife, happy life.
Guys.
Did I get it right?
That is the truth
Yeah, you pay me later. Okay.
That is the truth. Happy wife, happy life. And I'll tell you why. If you even look at the Kruvim at the time of when you talk about the Beit HaMikdash, when the Kruvim were facing each other, the Shechina was resting there. When there was war or there was machloket or problems or troubles, the Kruvim faced away from each other, and that's when the Shechina of Hashem lifted off and disappeared. So too in a home. Shalom Bayit and Hodul Hashem, you have to really be zoche to have someone that you get along with and that you respect and that you look up to, which I respect my husband immensely. He's such a tzaddik. But really, truly, happy wife, happy life is the best piece of advice he was ever given by the Biala Rebbe from Bnei Brak, who stays by me when he comes to New York, because it kind of teaches you to be mevater. Let it go. Be mevater, give in. And if your wife wants something, say okay. And then what ends up happening usually with that is when I see he's so easy to give in, I'm like, oh, no, don't worry. It's fine. You do it. He's like, no, you have it your way. I'm like, now you have it your way. And then you just kind of like, all right, it's fine. The key to having the Shechina of Hashem and the brachot and the shefa resting in your home is happy wife, happy life. But it also, ladies, it's twofold. When the man is making you happy by being mevater to you and to your will and to your needs, give him respect. A lot of respect, a lot of ahava, a lot of recognition, a lot of appreciation. We're constantly very obnoxiously thanking each other, especially in front of our children, because we feel it's very important for them to be raised in a home of good food and a lot of fun and laughter and dancing and music, but also, and tefillah. A lot of tefillah, but also of constant recognition, of constant appreciation where, he's my Costco shopper. I mean, we have Instacart now also, Baruch Hashem, but he's the best Costco shopper. Every time he comes home from Costco, we have an assembly line waiting by the front door or outside the house, and we don't let him bring all the groceries in. We're like, you did the shopping, we'll put everything away, and we're always saying, thank you, Daddy, thank you, Jonathan. I'm constantly thanking him in front of the kids, and he's so careful to uphold my kavod in front of the children as well. So if you are a first-time parent, if you are a kala, if you have been married 40 years, or if you're just listening on for some tidbits, respecting one another and showing appreciation to each other is so vital. And being mevater, happy wife, happy life. It has never done you wrong.
Never.
Right? Now we're closing. It's a closing time soon.
Already?
Almost. Isn't it fun?
It was actually fun.
It's so fun.
Can I come back?
You may.
Thank you.
We're going to invite you back.
Thank you.
We have some people who've been submitting some questions throughout the past few podcasts. People want to know if you can share something about me that they don't know. Something about me that only like you and the kids are privy to that would be surprising to them. It could be embarrassing. It could be weird.
You don't sleep.
I don't sleep.
You don't sleep. It drives me crazy.
It's a sore subject for him. That's our shalom bite.
It's like you're talking to someone around the world at 3:00 in the morning, and I see that blue light coming. And I'm like, Shar, the phone. You're like, sorry, and you take the sheet and throw over your head.
I go under the covers and I continue. So my factories are all overseas. So when New York falls asleep, overseas wakes up. So I'm sorry.
Fun fact, I'm not allowed to talk business with you until you finish your coffee. Remember?
I'm really mean about that.
You point your coffee cup.
I'm so mean about that. When I see the coffee cup is
finished, like, okay, I can talk to you now. Like, shh, there's a little bit left.
I'm very, very nice. But let me have my morning cup of coffee before you talk business with me. And Baruch Hashem, there's a lot of businesses that, I'm involved with. I'm like an octopus. Remember, with a bunch of hands in different projects. And Baruch Hashem, he's my CFO of my company. He handles the entire insurance department at Galitz Kutterwigs. He works so hard. He's on every board, schools, shuls, whatever. He's really busy too. So our calendars don't always sync. Like we have to pencil each other in to speak. But a lot of times when he's coming back from Minyan and he's about to start Chavrusa and the kids have just left, it's like a little bit of a quiet time, but that quiet time is my coffee time.
I have to make a confession.
What?
I do something bad sometimes.
What?
I think if I publicly apologize.
Oh my goodness, if I find out you drank from my
Otherwise, it takes like 40 minutes to drink that coffee.
How many times I've thought I'm losing my mind? I'm like, you owe me a cup of coffee for the rest of my life. Ad Mevesrim.
I'm publicly apologizing. Bechila.
I forgive you.
Thank you.
But tomorrow morning, I'm waking up to the best
You're gonna put an alarm on
coffee.
that. Put an alarm on that coffee.
I'm gonna change the camera in the kitchen from the front entrance to my coffee machine. By the way, speaking of coffee, we discovered the best flavor for your Nespresso machine.
Mexico.
Ooh, the Mexico European version. They have it on Amazon. It's a little expensive. Mexico and Colombia, the best flavors on espresso.
I don't like coffee at all, but I take 1 or 2 sips just for the...
He forces himself to have it for like the cognitive effects of it.
Yeah.
Any other things you want anyone to know, or piece of advice, or tochen, or words to live by that you would like to leave people off with? Something kedusha filled, or fun, or informative?
I don't know. You know me. I'm a list person. I make lists all the time.
He's very organized.
I like to listen. I get satisfaction when I cross something off my list, or I don't have to remember that I have to remember something. So I love lists. Yeah,
he's a big list maker. He's very organized. He's also the disciplinarian in the home.
Yeah.
I got 0 discipline blood in my body.
Listen, at 2 o'clock in the morning, when our kids come into the room and they want a snack, and I'm like, go to bed.
Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning, the kids will come into the room. Mommy,
I'm like, get to bed.
Can I have some food? And he's like, go to bed. I'm like, let's go make paninis and milkshakes. He drives him crazy. That's also because it's the middle of the night for him.
Mommy, I love you so much. Then you're a sucker for that. And you get up and do it.
And I love my kids. They're so cute. Yeah. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Jonathan.
Charlene.
That was so fun.
So much.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. It was great.
And Bezrat Hashem, we'll reconvene. We're probably going to bring... Fun fact, we're probably going to have our kids on this podcast, and they're very excited. They keep asking when they can leave school early to come, and we're trying to avoid that. But we're going to have you come back with our kids, and we're going to do a whole Aminoff jam session over here.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. And once again, Le'ilui Nishmat, Miriam, Sarah Bat Yaakov, Moshe. It should bring a huge aliyah to the neshama and to the entire family, the Hertz family from Aron's Kissena Farms. Thank you for being the sponsor for this amazing episode. And as always, if you chas v'shalom have an emergency, please call Hatzalah. Hatzalah's phone number is 718-387-1750. May you never, ever need Hatzalah unless you are giving birth to a healthy, beautiful child. And yes, Jonathan has delivered plenty of children. More on that later. Thanks. Thanks for watching. Thank you for listening to this episode of Not Your Typical Podcast. If you like what you saw or if you like what you heard, please subscribe and like. It really does make a big difference for us. You could hit subscribe and hit the like button on YouTube, or you could subscribe to the channel on iTunes, Apple. But just show your love because it will encourage us to continue going. So please subscribe and like.
Living Lchaim.